Okay, right here I believe we got a 2013 Nissan Rogue, all-wheel drive Rogue. And the problem this is having, I'm gonna let you all know, it's strange, but I need to come across this. Excuse me. This only has about 109,000 miles on it. These newer transmissions are, to me, worse than the older version of the CVTs. Let me see what we got here. Make sure this is a 2013. Yeah, it's a 2013. Okay, now this is doing something strange. And what is happening, when you start it up, you put it in reverse, press on the gas, I'm all the way down on the accelerator pedal, and the RPMs are not moving. They're not even raising up. I let go. Now they go up just that high. Let's see if I can view. See, I'm off the pedal, I'm all the way to the floor, it moves up just like that. And I'm in reverse. You see reverse? There's reverse. I'm in reverse. Now I'm going to put it in drive. Up here it shows drive. And it doesn't, it moves just a little in drive. Okay? Put in reverse. It doesn't move. Put in drive. Now it doesn't move. If you look at, I'm pressing the accelerator and went up, and it's in drive. As if something is wrong with the throttle. Okay, the RPMs won't rev up. If I put in neutral, the RPMs will not rev up. Well, they're going up to a little in the middle now. Off. Going in the middle now. Okay. So now one thing I would know, or that I found out, that if I put it in reverse and let it sit for a minute sometime, after, now it engaged. So after about maybe 40 seconds it will engage, and then it will move back, although I still don't have any throttle pressure. So it's a delay engagement in reverse and sometime in forward. Like right now it didn't engage, and I put it in forward. I put it in drive. My foot is off of the brake. Now it's moving up a little. Okay, if I put it in reverse, I can raise on accelerator, won't move. I got to sit here a bit, and then it will engage. Sometimes it won't. Now it's moving backwards. Let me show you. I'm in reverse and it moves forward. Okay, let's see here. Put it in neutral. Put it in reverse. No movement. And I'm gonna just stay here. Now it's moving. It moved just a little. Move just a little. The thing is that I'm concerned with is that there is no throttle. The motor will not rev up. Now here's what I hate, is that if there is no throttle, how come we had, now it's moved, it moved and engaged again. What they should do, if this is in protected mode, they should let us know that it's in protected mode. They should let us know that they've placed it in protective mode. So there should be a code that says P something, this vehicle is in protected mode, and then have the code behind it. Okay, now the code that did come up was a P0746 pressure control solenoid A circuit. Okay, so we had that. which means there's something wrong with the pressure in the transmission. But once again, because there's something wrong with the pressure, shouldn't mean that we shouldn't be able to rev the engine up in park or neutral, because now we would think it's something else. But this is something that the engineers built inside of this vehicle. We'll find out, because when I take the transmission out and put another transmission in, if this can rev up, if it can move like it's supposed to, it would mean that the engineers built a fail-safe in here that would throw you off. That means the fail-safe would mean it's in a protected mode. Okay? But they didn't go about this right. They should have put, when it's in protected mode, a code to let you know it's in protected mode, so you don't think there's something wrong with the throttle, so then you don't think there's something wrong with something else. Okay, so I have to show you this because we're the pioneers. Sometimes you just have to take something apart and see if it's going to work, and a lot of people don't want to do that. What they want to do is wait to see that somebody's done that and find out what the problem is. But you always have to have some people that's on the front line. You got to have someone who go out there and take the pressure, and that's what we're about to do now. We're about to put another transmission in there, and if this works fine based on this code, if it works fine, then that probably will get rid of this throttle not working like it's supposed to. Okay, so once again, if your vehicle is not moving, if it doesn't respond to the throttle, then you look for a code. If it has a code like a transmission pressure code, then you may have to deal with that transmission code first before the computer allow the throttle to work. Okay, so once again, I'll let you know how this turned out once we put this other transmission inside here, if this actually fixed this problem, both problems, or what could appear to be a problem. Alright, here is the pan on that 2013 Rogue. So you can see that there's metal in this pan. Okay, so there you have it. I guess the computer was set to protect itself, but once again they should let us know that, so we don't believe that it's something in addition to being a transmission or something different than the transmission. Okay, so no good here. No good. Alright, we're inside of this 2013 Nissan Rogue. Once again, this one has 109,000 miles on it. I would say the older transmission CVTs, like maybe 2009 and down, maybe even 10, the CVTs, they seemed to be even better, even though they had their problems. And the ones that's going up, the 2012, 13, 14, 15, they seem to be even better, even worse, even more of a junk CVT, because they fail even more often. Also, they switched over to linear solenoids. That's bad too. But this transmission again had it was a P0746 pressure control solenoid A circuit. Okay, and once again, I want you to pay attention to that code circuit, because it would make you think that there was an electrical problem, when in fact it was not an electrical problem. It was a hydraulic problem. Now, Nissan should have distinguished that. The engineers should distinguish that, but they don't. Instead of saying circuit, which you can use a hydraulic circuit, let it show that it's an electrical issue. Use circuit for that and just use pressure for something else. But you know, sometimes I think the higher up you are as engineers or whatever, common sense start to elude people. But we have that. And the next thing is this vehicle now, if I put it in gear, reverse, it moves. You see here, I'm moving back. Put it in drive, and I got good throttle. Now before, if I told you before, the throttle did not respond, which now means that this vehicle had a built-in fail-safe mode where the throttle wouldn't respond. Because it had a pressure loss, the engineers designed it to where the throttle wouldn't respond. Now, again, I say that was bad because you would think that there was a throttle problem. Yes, you may have a transmission problem, but you think it was a throttle problem also. Okay? So, let's take this for a ride. What they should have done is put a code in there to let you know that there was a fail-safe, that it was in fail-safe. Like, okay, code P0 something, and this meant fail-safe mode, and then have the code that was causing it to be in fail-safe mode, so that you would know, okay, this throttle is not responding because it's in a fail-safe. But they don't do that. The throttle just stops responding, and you do get a code. The code that was here was that code, so the only thing you can do is just assume that the transmission is causing the problem. Okay, but that is not something I would do. Again, this is a situation where common sense seems to elude them. Okay, but there's those of us who are pioneers. We got to take the chance and say, oh, the transmission is bad. Now, some are going to ask, oh, my throttle doesn't respond. What is that problem? Well, it could be a bad transmission. Well, how's the transmission going to stop the throttle from responding? You're going to get that. You're going to have people who's going to say, well, how's a bad transmission going to stop me from pressing on the accelerator and the engine RPMs raising up? Well, the engineers designed it that way. This is an example because I am now moving and it responds great. But I am also now at the post office, so I got to drop something off. But I just wanted to let you know that this transmission did cause this vehicle to go into a fail-safe mode where the throttle did not work. And the code was a P0746. Okay? So now you know.